I imagine working an entire month, giving your best effort, putting in early mornings and late nights. And when payday comes, your boss says, "We're keeping 2 weeks of your pay. Don't worry, it's for the good of the economy." You'd probably quit on the spot, or at least demand an explanation. But here's the truth: nobody tells you. That's exactly what's been happening every single year. Only instead of your boss taking it, it's taken in a way that's harder to see. It's called inflation. It's not some abstract economic term. It's a hidden tax, draining the value of your money, and with it, draining the time you work to earn that money. You weren't asked to agree to it. You never signed a paper saying, "Yes, take my time and give me less in return." But you're paying it every single day. For most of human history, the concept of saving was simple. You worked, you produced, you set aside the fruits of your labor for later. If you were a farmer, you stored grain. If you were a merchant, you held gold or silver coins. If you were a craftsman, you traded your work for something you could save, something solid. And here's the key: those savings kept their value. A gold coin in 1800 had the same purchasing power decades later, sometimes even more. Money was a measuring stick. That didn't change. Imagine building a house with a tape measure that kept shrinking every year. The measurements would be useless. That's what unstable money does. Back then, the tape measure stayed the same. A dollar was a dollar. An ounce of gold was an ounce of gold. Your savings were like a jar of honey, sweet, untouched, safe for the future. But today, that jar has a hole in the bottom, and the leak never stops. So what happened? How did we go from safe savings to a leaky bucket? The answer is the move from sound money to fiat money, and the big turning point, 1971. Before then, the US dollar was backed by gold. You could literally exchange your dollars for gold at a fixed rate. It wasn't perfect, but it put a leash on how much money the government could create. In 1971, President Richard Nixon cut that leash. He temporarily suspended the gold standard, a temporary move that became permanent. From that moment, the dollar was just paper, backed by trust, and nothing else. The result? The money supply exploded, and with it, prices rose. Look at the numbers. In 1970, the median price of a home in the US was about $23,000. Today, it's over $400,000. A gallon of gas, 36 cents in 1970. Today, several dollars. And no, that's not just things getting more expensive. That's your money buying less. They replaced your solid savings jar with a paper bag in a rainstorm, and every year, that bag gets thinner. Inflation isn't just about higher prices, it's the transfer of your time to someone else. Here's how to think about it. Let's say inflation is 8%. That means you need 8% more money this year just to buy the same things you bought last year. 8% more money means about 1 month of extra work every year, not for progress, not for growth, just to stay in the same place. You're not just losing purchasing power, you're losing life. You trade hours of your life for money, but when they print more of that money, your stored hours lose value. It's like filling a bucket with water, only to have someone quietly drill a hole in the bottom while you sleep. History is full of warnings. Argentina, where savings evaporate overnight. Zimbabwe, where people carried wheelbarrows of cash to buy bread. Weimar Germany, where prices doubled every few days. You might think that could never happen here, but it's already happening here, slowly enough. that most people don't notice. Here's the part that stings. The system is rigged. When new money is created, it flows first to those closest to the source. Big banks, corporations, governments, they spend it before prices rise. By the time it reaches you, prices have already gone up. This is called the Cantillon effect. It's like playing Monopoly, where the banker secretly gives themselves extra money every few turns. His friends get new hotels. You're just trying to pass go without going broke. In this system, the rich get richer, the middle class gets squeezed, and your savings vanish. You've felt this in your own life. No matter how much you earn, it feels like you're running in place. Wages rise slowly, prices rise faster. The average person works more hours than decades ago, often with less purchasing power. So we chase, we work longer hours, we take side gigs, we borrow to make ends meet. Debt becomes a way of life. You don't dream of yachts, you dream of having dinner with your kids without checking your work email. It's the hamster wheel, and inflation is the speed control. They can crank it faster whenever they want. But what if there were a way to store your time so no one could steal it? That's Bitcoin. Unlike fiat money, Bitcoin has a fixed supply. Only 21 million will ever exist. No central bank can print more. No politician can vote to dilute it. It's predictable, transparent, decentralized. One Bitcoin will always be one Bitcoin. When you save in Bitcoin, you're storing the fruits of your labor in something that can't be inflated away. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about ensuring your hard work today is still worth something in 10, 20, or 50 years. It's the vault key they can't duplicate. Here's where it gets real. Most people think in terms of dollars spent. The TimeCost app helps you think in terms of time lost. Let's say you spend $1,000 on a vacation today instead of holding Bitcoin. If Bitcoin reaches $250,000 in the future, that $1,000 could have grown into enough to buy you 4 months of freedom. 4 months you could spend traveling anyway, or starting a business, or just being with the people you love. Once you see spending in terms of future time, you can't unsee it. Every decision becomes a choice between now and later, between instant gratification and future freedom. And when you run the numbers, you start to see how much of your life is being spent before you even get to live it. So here's the choice. You can keep playing the game the way it's designed, working harder just to stand still, watching your savings melt, hoping it slows down someday. Or you can step off the hamster wheel. You can store your value and your time in something that can't be printed away. You can stop being a victim of the hidden tax. This isn't just about money, it's about sovereignty, it's about freedom. It's about buying back the one thing you can never create more of: time. Your time is the most valuable thing you will ever own. You can trade it away for pieces of paper that melt in your hands, or you can store it in something that will be there for decades. The choice is yours. Comment "I choose freedom" if you're with us. Subscribe for daily videos on buying your time back, and download the TimeCost app to see exactly how much of your life is at stake. Your time is freedom. Protect it.